All right. So I am recording right now. So really quickly, I want to give a quick shout out to Valerie, who is on with us right now, although she's muted. I'm going to unmute her really quickly. So I'm going to give a quick shout out to Valerie, who has hit Emerald and hit SC10 this month. Let's give her a round of applause. Yay, Val! How excited are you, Val?
I'm very excited and not even quite sure how this all happened, other than the fact I have a wonderful upline, Nancy, who's been more than supportive and extremely helpful every step of the way. Yeah, it's just happening.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, absolutely. So Val, if you had to attribute like how you're saying, wow, things are kind of happening, what do you kind of attribute that to? Like, how do you think you've got things to kind of happen for you?
I definitely think it was a mindset that just clicked for me. I think about 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago now, I just believed in myself all of a sudden and thought, I can do this. And also actively engaging now every day. And I think there was a post somewhere along the way, and it said something to the fact about reaching out to 2 people every day, commenting on 2 people, and one other thing, I can't remember. But just one day, more or less, something clicked for me that I need to actively be participating in this every day. And once I started doing that, it just started happening.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's excellent. Congratulations, Valerie. Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's very, very exciting when you get to that point of hitting Emerald, Yeah, so now, Val's got 2 coaches under her, one on her left, one on her right. Now she starts earning team cycle bonuses, right? So at when she earns 200 volume points on one side, 100 volume points on the other, she earns $14 for that cycle, right? Lisa, you have a perplexed look on your face. Do you know what I mean by the 200 and the 100? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. No, you don't. Okay. No, you don't. Okay. I'm going to table that for next week. Okay. So I'm going to write myself a note to talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about cycle bonuses next week. Okay. So Lisa, you remind me because I'll forget. Even though I have my note. Okay. All right. Valerie, congratulations again.
Thanks.
All right. Eleanor, I'm going to mute you too. Okay. So 2 things that I wanted to kind of talk about tonight, because those were based on some of the posts that came up during this past week, okay? The first is forming, and the second thing is on expanding your market. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is forming, right? So you guys probably have a good number of friends in Facebook, right? Is that where all of us are pretty much doing most of our work is on Facebook? Yes, not Instagram or Pinterest or Twitter at this point in time, right? Most of us are working on Facebook. Okay, so let's just kind of focus there. So you guys probably have a good friends list right now on Facebook, and probably not a lot of those people you've spoken with in a while, correct? Like, yeah, they're people you went to high school with, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you've got your close friends that you see on a regular basis or people that you know really closely, but there's those people that you haven't seen in a while, right? So when we talk about forming, right, and we'll always use the term forming, forming is synonymous with building relationships. Right? And that's really kind of what we're doing in this business is that we're building relationships with people. So we are actively reaching out and reconnecting with people. And that's not such a bad thing. I mean, if you see somebody's post and, I don't know, I'm going to bring this up just because this is somebody that I'm forming with right now. Her dog, she had to put her dog down yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I know, kind of a bummer. But it's one of those things where, okay, I made a point of sending her a private message and telling her how sorry I was about her dog. You know what I mean? So it's little things like that that you do, that you're paying attention to these people on Facebook, right? So you're kind of watching what they do and you're commenting on what they do, or you send them a private message, whatever it is. And when they know that they're ready to make a change in their lives, they're going to reach out to you because they know that you were actively engaged in their life. right? So by me saying, I'm really sorry to hear about the passing of your dog. I know how hard it is. You know, I saw the picture of my dog who passed away, 11 years ago, still hanging here in my office. So I understand, that pain. So I just reached out to her and I just kind of said that to her. And as we go through my relationship with her, she's going to remember that I did that. You know what I mean? So it's all about building those relationships. So when we talk about forming, we talk about building relationships. So specifically, and Beachbody's all about these acronyms for everything, right? The BAT, the CB, DBs, everything else, right? So form is family, occupation, recreation, and message, right? So whenever you start talking to people and you don't really know what to say, okay, I know I have to start forming with this person because I haven't talked to them in 20 years, ask them about their family. Ask them what they do for a living. Ask them what they do for fun. And then from there, figure out what your message is going to be to them. Okay, so that's always what we talk about with forming. So, but forming is nothing more than building a relationship. Okay, so I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed with it. And really, it's a simple little, hey, I'm so glad that Facebook has brought us back together. I'm so excited to get back and reconnecting with you. And that's where you have to start those relationships. And that's where you kind of start those conversations. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be scared of them. Okay, some people are going to respond back to you. Awesome. And some people aren't. And that's okay. That's okay. You know what I mean? 3 months from now, months from now, you're just going to reach out to them again. And that's fine. That's totally fine. So some people are going to be receptive to you reaching out and saying hello, and some people aren't. And that's okay. But you're going to do that every day. You're going to form with 2 new people every day, right? Because we've got to start those relationships, okay? Questions on forming, questions on starting to build those relationships? No? We're good? Oh, heck, that was easy. I love those easy ones. Okay. How many of you guys, by showing thumbs up or thumbs down, how many of you guys are nervous that you're going to run out of the people that you know, and then what happens to your business? You guys nervous about that? A little bit? A little bit? Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Here's the easiest thing. The hardest sell that you will ever make for a challenge pack is to your own family. That's going to be the hardest sell, right? The easier people for you to talk to are people that you don't really know all that well. Are those people kind of on that outer circle, okay? So when we talk about expanding your market, which was one of the posts for this past week, I want you guys to think about, right, because we're always reaching out and growing our list, right? So we're always friend requesting at least 2 to 5 people every day. Yes? 2 to 5 people every day, right? And when we send out those friend requests, we have a bunch of mutual friends, right? So this way we don't get stuck in Facebook jail, right? Okay, so we're doing that every day. But eventually you're going to get to the point where you're like, okay, I don't have any more mutual friends, like 20 mutual friends anymore. Well, now you're going to go down to 10. I'm at like 5 now that I'm reaching out to people. I'm like, oh, I got 5 mutual friends. Oh, that's close enough. That's good enough. I want you guys to start thinking about other ways of forming and meeting new people, okay? So now, I think on the post we talk about the things that you do recreationally, right? So if you have kids who are involved in dance, you're kind of talking to those other dance moms, right? If your kids are involved in sports, you're talking to those other sports moms and dads. If you're on the PTO or the PTA at school, right? If you're a volunteer, if you're a class mom and you're a volunteer there, things like that, right? So there's different ways for you to meet other people, okay? And that's great, and that's one of the ways that you're going to meet new people, and you're going to say, hey, so are you on Facebook? Great, well, let me send you a friend request on Facebook when you're sitting there on the sidelines and you're watching a soccer game, okay? One way to do that. Another way to do that is I want you guys to start thinking about joining some groups on Facebook. How many of you guys are in not Beachbody groups on Facebook? All right, Kimberly, I'm going to put you on the spot. Tell me about some of the groups that you're involved in on Facebook, non-Beachbody related.
There's a couple, like Ansonia Moms, because I live in Ansonia, and then there's a Shelton Moms one, because I used to live in Shelton, so things like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Anything else? Any other groups?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, good, good. That's a great place to start. That's a great place to start, right? Start forming with people in there, right? Commenting and liking, right? Okay, I'm going to put you back on mute. Jenna, I saw you raised your hand. Can I unmute you?
Sure.
Okay, good. Tell me about some of your groups.
I am in a new moms group right now.
Mm-hmm.
And what else am I in? I'm in a sorority group from college. I have a UConn alumni group for the Los Angeles County. I feel like because I've done the Coach Basics before, so I've actually been joining a lot of groups.
Yep, good.
But yeah, I think that's all I can think of off the top of my head right now. But I think there is a few more groups that I am in.
Good, good. That's a great place to start too. Okay, who else is in groups? Lisa, Eleanor, are you guys in any groups? Yeah, Lisa, okay. Lisa, tell me about one of your groups that you're in.
I'm in several like vegetarian, like eating healthy groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also in like a 21-day fix support group. It's
Okay.
not Beachbody related, but they also have a database of coaches, so I'm in there if anybody ever. And I follow a lot of healthy eating groups and clean eating groups.
Perfect, perfect.
Try to comment a lot.
Good, good. It's always about commenting and making those relationships, right? Great,
Yeah.
Thanks, Lisa. Okay, so what I want you guys to think about though, when we talk about joining some groups on Facebook, I want you to think about your other interests. Anybody a runner? Lisa, you're a vegetarian, so that's great that you joined some vegetarian groups. That's perfect. If you're a runner, join some running groups, right? As we were talking about my dog, right? He's a Dalmatian, so I'm in 2 Dalmatian groups on Facebook, right? I have my sorority groups too, my sorority alumni groups. I'm in there too. There's town groups, right? So Kimberly said, Ansonia moms or Shelton moms. There's mom groups like that. There's small business pages, right? So you can go and search for things like that. Find things that are of interest to you. Like, what do you like to do in your spare time? Like, my daughter plays softball, right? So I'm in a couple of different softball for girls, like, groups, things like that, okay? And not that I go in there all the time, and not that I go in there and I troll that, because that's not productive use of my time. But I go in there sometimes when I know that I've gotten through all of my work stuff that I need to get done. I'll go into that group and I'll kind of scroll through and I'll comment, or I'll like, or I'll comment on somebody's post, or I'll comment on somebody. I'll comment on what somebody has to say. That's funny, right? Is everybody reading Adrian's comment? Find things that are of interest to you, right? Because it's easier for you to contribute to a conversation when it's something of interest to you. All right, so let's just say, I don't know, like I said, so I'm in a Dalmatian group. I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not going to join a pit bull group because I don't know anything about pit bulls. You know what I mean? So make sure it's something that you have an interest in and something that you can kind of contribute to the conversation. Every now and then, I want you to post something in those groups too, okay? So it's not just a matter of commenting or liking, right? Sometimes I want you to post in there. And when somebody comments on your post, make sure you reply. Start a little conversation in there, okay? So now you can go ahead and you can send that person a friend request, and now it doesn't look so weird. Right? Even though you don't know that person at all, you have no mutual friends with that person at all, but you've had a little conversation right there in that group, and now it's not oddball, okay? So start making friends in those groups, okay? Start developing some relationships there, and when you feel comfortable with some people, go ahead and send them a note, okay? Or go ahead and send them a friend request. But make sure they're in groups, again, that are of interest to you. So I really want you to kind of open up and be more broad. Don't always think about, okay, let's see, Beachbody's all about working out. Beachbody's all about fitness. Beachbody's always about health and fitness or nutrition. Don't always look there for those groups, because guaranteed there's 90 other coaches in those groups too. And they're doing exactly what I'm telling you to do here. Okay? So I want you to find groups that are not related to health and fitness. Does that make sense? Right? And starting to get some relationships going there, okay? That's one other way to expand your market. Give me some other ideas on how you guys think you might be meeting more people. Who has something to add? How might you find more people that you might want to talk to about Beachbody products? Nobody wants to share anything? Nobody? Nobody has any ideas? And I feel bad for you guys who are on the phone who I can't see because you can't raise your hands. Chris, can you hear me? Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I unmuted you. So we're all going to listen to you. So tell me, aside from trying to make friends with, people that you have mutual friends with, how do you think you might go about finding new friends on Facebook? What do you think?
Besides going through other people, your other friends?
Yeah. What do you think? How else do you think you might find some people on Facebook?
Well, like you were mentioning, get into interest groups.
Yeah.
Also, they have a lot of event pages, whether it's a 5K or a food truck event or whatever. So you could always, say you're going to that or join that and post in there as well.
Awesome.
Also, with link to the event pages, if you go to an event, start talking to people there. So it's kind of linked to Facebook in that way.
Yep. Excellent. Yeah, there's a lot of people who host different events on Facebook. And I don't know if you guys noticed, Chris, thanks so much. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's a lot of other companies out there that just send you event requests, right? They just kind of add you to their events that they have on Facebook, and you're like, okay, I have absolutely no interest in that mascara or those nails, those Jamberry nails, right? How many of you guys get like into those groups and you're like, okay, right, Kimberly? I have absolutely no interest in those Jamberry nails, but okay. But they get added anyway. And not that we promote our products that way, but you know what? There's no reason why you can't go in there and kind of scroll through and see if there are people who, you might know, or people who, go scroll through them, look at their profile pictures. If they have a profile picture and let's just say they've got like a number on them and it looks like they ran a race, go ahead and reach out to them and say, hey, that's really great that that you have, that you ran, whatever particular race it is, if you can see it on there. You know what I mean? So try and find something there. I tend to look for people because I'm a fitness professional, right? I tend to look for people who are into fitness. So that's generally speaking what I do is if I see them and they have like a race photo as their profile picture, I'll go ahead and I'll comment on that. You know what I mean? Yeah, some people might think it's kind of weird and kind of stalkerish, and it might go somewhere and it might not, but that's okay. You know what I mean? I kind of just start conversations that way. But the event thing is a great idea. So yeah, scroll through. You might have mutual friends that you might not even know. I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes when you go through Facebook and you look at your friends and you see who their mutual friends are, you're like, how does so-and-so know such and such? Because it's such a small world, and you're like, I have no idea how that happens. So if there's somebody that you have a mutual friend with and you don't know who that person is, go ahead and just reach out and say, hey, Facebook says that we share these mutual friends. How do you know so-and-so? Go ahead and start a conversation there, right? So it's all just a matter of constantly growing your friends list. I had a conversation with another coach earlier today, and I said, you know what? When I started Facebook, when I started using, hang on, Val, I'll get to you in 1 second. When I started using Facebook, back when I first started being a coach back in September of 2013, I had like 250 friends. So I have like 900 friends right now. I don't know who half of them are. I will be honest with you. I really don't. I don't. I'm learning who they are, but I don't know who all of them are. Okay, so it's not like I have really big relationships with all of these people yet, but I know that I'm growing my list and I'm developing relationships with a lot of those people, right? Okay, Val, I unmuted you.
Okay, so that's a perfect way to go into this question. And having all of these friends added to your list on your personal Facebook page, this is where I'm having, I guess, a comfort issue about inviting all of these people to my personal Facebook page where I post everything, my family pictures and personal information. So should I be creating a separate business Facebook page where I can invite everyone to, I just don't know where to go with inviting all these people to my personal page.
Yep. So this is something that we kind of touched on last week, that as
Yes.
you post things on your personal page, you have the option of setting your post to be public so the entire world can see it, or it's just your friends. So if you post something about your kids that you don't want the world to see, go ahead and make that your friends only. So next to the blue bar where it says post, there's a little drop down that says public, friends, and I think there's like an others option, but I don't even know what the other options is. Adrienne, do you know what the others option is? I don't even know what it is.
I think it's called custom, where you can kind of set who you want to see it and who you don't want to see.
Oh, okay. So Valerie, so you could, let's just say you wanted to just share it with just your family. You could probably select the friends who could see that particular post.
Okay.
Okay, so you do have that option of doing that. However, I wouldn't make everything that you do about your family totally private, because that's also what draws people to you.
Yes.
Okay, so don't make it absolutely 100% private. But yes, like pages or business pages are definitely a good thing. Facebook is going to start getting a little bit more strict with what we do on our personal pages as far as promotion goes, right? And promoting our businesses and promoting, what we do and talking about what we do. So to start working on a like page isn't a bad idea. I'm not going to get into that here so early in Coach Basics. Maybe we could do that like our last week. As you guys have kind of really grown in your businesses, we can kind of talk about that a little bit more. But that's definitely something that you're going to want to consider. And as you grow your business, it's definitely something that you are going to do. You're going to have a like page. And Valerie, you're right. If you feel more comfortable inviting people to your like page, absolutely go ahead and do that. But don't forget, though, that most people know you, and they don't necessarily know your business page. You know what I mean? And it's not really your business page that's going to develop that relationship. It's Valerie who's going to develop that relationship. And the other thing is from your business page, you can't initiate a message to somebody, right? You can respond to a message that somebody sends to you on your business page, but you can't initiate a conversation there. So you have to initiate the conversation from your personal page. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So, I mean, I put it to you this way. So I get new likes on my business page, I don't know, every now and then. I don't do enough with my business page. Shame on me. I'm smacking my own wrist. Shame on me. But when I get a new like on my business page, I send that person a friend request from my personal page, and I send them a note. And I say, thanks for liking my business page. And I put whatever my business, Body by Tina, my business page address on there. And I say, look forward to getting to know you more, kind of thing. So that's how I send my friend request from my personal page. And that was kind of recommended from Colleen Eddy, who's she's a premier coach in Beachbody. And she had said, you know what, the more exposure that person gets of you, whether it's through your personal page or through your business page, that's a good thing. So just because they like your business page doesn't mean that they're going to get full exposure of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So on my business page, I don't talk about personal stuff. You know what I mean? I talk about Shakeology, Beachbody, healthy eating, canned pumpkin, recipes, whatever it is I talk about on my business page, but nothing personal gets translated onto my business page. So that person really doesn't see me, they just see my business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so and remember, as Beachbody coaches, we are in a relationship building business. So for that person to eventually come and join me, whether it be as a customer or as a coach, they're not going to do it based on what I'm only doing on my business page. It has to be that personal connection through my personal page too. But again, we go back to, if I post something about my family that I don't want the world to see, that I don't want that person to see because that person doesn't know me, I can set my setting for that post to be friends only, or to be, specific to family only, or these friends, or whatever it might be. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Right. So when we set those posts to public, though, right? So yes, your friends can see that post, but let's say one of your friends comments on that post, their friends see their comment on your post when you make it public. Okay. So when we say public, it's public.
Mm-hmm.
So just be aware of that. Okay. Valerie, any follow-up questions on that?
No, that was a good reminder. I remember you touching on that last week.
Okay, good. Questions on expanding your market? Adria, anything?
Tina?
Yes, who's that?
This is Kathy.
Oh, hi, Kathy.
I'm
How
on the
are you?
phone.
Yep.
I got it from Facebook. But two of the things that I've just started doing is we're out of elementary school now, and so I started friending the teachers from the elementary school, and I'm getting a lot of people. And then the other thing I'm doing is I've been getting friended a couple, mothers of my kids that are older. Their friends and their boyfriends' mothers and their mothers' friends. You know what I mean? What I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Lex was at a party last week, and one of the moms came, who I have no idea who it is, but I friended her because she told me to. But she came up to her at a party and said, "Your mom just friended me. How cool is that?" So I was like, okay, they don't look at it really as being stalkers. They're just. And then one of the teachers said, "Oh yeah, Stephanie told me she friended you. You friended her, and she was just so honored or something because she didn't even think you knew who she was." So, I mean, people don't really think of it as stalkers. They're like, "Oh, that's nice, friend request, cool."
Yeah.
So that's been working out really.
Good. Excellent. Okay. All right. So we've got 10 minutes left. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns about expanding your market? Thoughts, questions, concerns about forming? Thoughts, questions, concerns in general?
Tina?
Yeah. Go ahead, Kathy.
Why do we even need a business page then if we're doing everything on our own personal page?
Because you want multiple exposures. You want more exposure, right? So the more exposure you can get for yourself, the better off you are, right? So think about it. So if you are trying to promote, all this healthy stuff, your friends eventually are going to get tired of seeing all your healthy, positive stuff that you constantly put on your Facebook page, okay? So you can put a lot of that stuff on your business page and not inundate everybody on your personal page, right? Because the people who like your business page are coming there because of the content that you're providing, okay? People aren't your friends on Facebook based on the content that you're providing. They're just friends. So it's just a way for you to increase your exposure and create your more visibility to the Facebook world, okay?
Okay, so let's say I had posted that I'm going to put on more nutrition tips, but sometimes it can get kind of lengthy. So that's something I would put on a business page.
Yeah.
Just put a little bit. I just put a little bit on my personal page, but put the heavier stuff on the business page.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So
Thank you.
your business page should all be about creating value and providing content, like valuable content to people out there. Whereas your personal page can be totally benign. Like I talked about like PB2 getting all over my counter this morning. That's not something I would put on my business page. You know what I mean? So it's little things like that. So provide lots of value and provide lots of content on your business page. Because stuff like that, like people are like, yeah, okay, great, on your personal page. Yeah, people are going to scroll right by that. But people who like your business page are going to tune into your business page to learn more about that stuff. Okay? So definitely provide more content, more valuable content on your business page.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. More questions? Adria, anything you want to add on forming or expanding your market?
Sorry, I didn't catch most of it because I was on a phone call. I'm sorry. It was my cousin's wife, and I thought it'd be quick, but she was on her iPad trying to order, then I had to go ahead and do it from my computer for her. So sorry, guys.
No,
so
that's all right.
I'll have to watch the replay as well.
That's all right. We actually, we talked about you being on the phone with a customer, and I said how important it is for them to get everybody on the phone. When you're getting to that point of selling that challenge pack, make sure you get them on the phone, right? So this way there's no mistakes. Because Kathy, aren't you on a first name basis with Coach Relations?
Yes, I am.
Yep. So Kathy has had numerous issues with people placing their orders incorrectly, and she's had to call Coach Relations. So one of the ways to get around that is to get everybody on the phone and literally walk them through that ordering process. Not to say that Kathy doesn't do that, because we all do that on occasion. But a lot of times something wrong happens, right?
Yeah, it's happened to everybody, and you learn through mistakes of it happening to make sure you get somebody on the phone so it doesn't continue to happen.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
In there.
Any other questions for Adria or I? No? Okay. Are you guys enjoying your time in Coach Basics? Are you learning? Yeah? Good. Good.
Does anybody know what they need to post on Thursday?
Kimberly raised her hand. Let's see. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Our bat.
Yay! Yes. Thank you to those of you who did post this past week.
Absolutely. And are you guys filling in your bats this week? Good. Do you find that it keeps you on track and makes you stay focused on what you have to accomplish for the day? Yes?
Yeah.
Good. Yep. That's kind of the point of it, right? It's easy to say that you did the work, but when you actually have to write it down and say, yep, I formed with 5 people today. Oh, good. I actually formed with 5 people. Even though you thought you did, and when you're not tracking it, you're not really sure if you did or not. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. So one other thing really quickly that I want to do, so I think we end like May 15th-ish, around there is when Coach Basics kind of ends for us, okay? What I want to do come like the beginning of June is I want all of us to run a challenge group together for June. Does that sound like a good idea? Okay. So we're not going to really kind of talk about it for now, but I want you guys to think about it, okay? Because I want all of us to do this challenge group together, okay? So as we kind of come into May, let's come up with a plan of what we're going to be inviting to for June, okay? And then we are all going to run one paid challenge group altogether. Not a free one, but a paid challenge group altogether, okay? So just kind of keep it in mind on what you think you might want to do for the month of June, okay? And then, like I said, as we kind of come to the close of Coach Basics, we'll kind of take a vote, I guess, and we'll talk about what product it is that we want to do for our paid challenge group, and then we'll all invite to that, okay? So just kind of something to keep in mind. So this way you've got Lisa, Adrienne, and I still kind of guiding you and leading you along the way, and all running the challenge group all together, okay? Good. 3.5 minutes left. Are you sure you don't have any questions? Ah, yay!
I feel like it's always me. So Rachel and I were going to do a 21-day fix challenge group in May. Should we hold off until after we all do the one in June?
No.
Okay.
No. Right? Because we're not going to do one until June.
Right.
So if you're going to do a 21-day fix challenge group, that's 21 days during the month of May. And that's fine.
Okay.
You know what? And even if we do it, hang on, Val, I'll get to you in 1 second. Even if we do it in June and let's say your 21-day runs over for a couple of days, that's okay. You know, you'll be fine. You'll be fine with that. Okay. Go ahead, Val.
I'm starting a group on Monday, a 21 Fix program. So this is my first challenge group that I just went out and set it up and said, I'm just going to do it. And it's really coming together nicely. I'm very proud.
Nice. Good. Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of biting the bullet, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
You know what? You just have to take that leap of faith and just say, you know what? I'm going to run a 21-day fix challenge group, and here I go. I'm just going to invite people to it. You know, the infomercial is the #1 rated infomercial on TV. People have seen that product on TV. They kind of know what you're talking about when you talk about 21-day fix, right? Most likely, some of your friends on Facebook are friends with a couple of different coaches. They've seen posts about the 21-day fix. Hopefully, some of you are doing the 21-day fix and you're sharing your story. You're sharing the success that you've seen with 21-day fix on your page. So now you've got a story to tell, right? And so you're inviting people to join you on your journey, right? And sharing that story with them, okay? So yeah, sometimes it's a matter of just biting the bullet, taking that leap of faith and just saying, yep, that's what I'm going with, let's go. And you just start inviting to it, okay?
And Val, I might have somebody to add to your group this time.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely.
That's who I was on the phone with.
Perfect. It's nice to know you've got someplace to put her, that's for sure. Okay, so Adria, what do we want to do for homework for tomorrow? Should we do more personal development stuff?
Yeah, I think that was good last time.
Okay, good. All right.
And I loved the post this week that everybody was tagging us in too. That was fun.
That was fun, right? That was a good one. I loved that.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Okay, so again, 10 minutes of personal development today, right? So tomorrow's Wednesday. Give me your takeaway from your personal development. Okay, give us your takeaway from your personal development. Okay, I'm going to do it tonight too because I'm reading The Magic of Thinking Big. So I'm going to do it too. Okay, so everybody post in the group tomorrow what their takeaway was. And we will see your bats on Thursday. And we will see everybody in the group during the week. And we'll see you next Tuesday for Zoom. Less than a minute to go, so we're going to sign off. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.